Hey, this is Rod from Modifier Graphics, and I just thought I'd bring back another video of the YouTube series. This is the day after that I posted the marble, and now I'm on to something new. I'm doing a frog, and you can see I just kind of drew out some leaves, and it's going to be the stems. This is painted forest green, the panel is. This is the test panel. And then I'm going to paint the leaves in here using marble, and I'm going to put a frog over the top of it. Now this, all I'm going to do is just kind of give a rough outline of the veins in the leaves. And then I did a shadow right here. So that shadow, when I cut this big leaf out, will look like it goes over the top of this one. Everything has to be done in order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cover this one up. And I'm going to spray this one out, get the veins in it, and then marble the whole thing at one time. And then we'll candy back green, and it'll cover up a lot of this dark, but still leave it to where the eye can pick it up. So that's what we're looking for. So hang tight, we'll get some more done here. Again, doing the marbling effect, just like I showed in the last video of the fender. This is just a regular bag from down there. I'm just kind of getting some pattern, some shape to it. That's it. So now you can see the marbling in there, and when the candy green over goes over the top of that, it'll push all that silver back and look really cool. So that's what we're doing. So I'm doing one leaf at a time, and the reason I'm doing that is that when I candy this one back, then I candy this one back, it'll be two different colors. So the leaves will actually have a little bit different color to them. So it'll look pretty good. Now, since the marbling is on the top of the black of this, I'm going to do that black just a little bit more, real close. So it looks like a shadow, looks like the marbling goes underneath, but it'll actually kind of stand out a little bit more, which makes the leaf look kind of cool. So, on to the next part. Okay, here's the next leaf. I just cut it out. I haven't candied this back yet because it's still a little wet, and I'm just kind of cruising through this. This is a test panel, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just got to give the customer an idea of what it's going to look like. So I don't spend a whole lot of time on test panels, but it'll give you an idea. And I darken this up just a little bit, so that way when the candy green goes over the top, it'll look like a shadow off of this one. Because I'm going to have the shadow come in from this direction. So the light source is coming from this way, and that's the reason why the shadow over the top of that leaf. So the frog should sit perfectly right over the top of it. Now I will, if I have to, I'll actually put another leaf over here somewhere just so the frog has some place to put his foot. Either that or I can put it over the top of the green, and it looks like the leaves are up off the substrate a little bit. So it should look pretty cool. We'll soon see, and we're just going to keep working with it. Okay, now I've just taken the airbrush and darkened the one side, put the veins in it, kind of match the other one. And now I'm going to go over with marble, but I'm going to cover this one up because now it's pretty dry. The marbleizer is pretty dry. I use the MB01, just like I did in the fender video. So I'll cover this one up, and then I'll marble this one, and it'll look different than this. So that way it'll kind of, I don't know, you want a difference between here and there. You don't want to try to marble the whole thing because then it'll look like this leaf goes right on top of that one. You'll be able to see the seam. So I'm going to cover that seam up. That's what I'm hoping to do, get rid of that, and then we'll candy this thing, and I can actually push this back a little bit darker and use my candies to make it look more leaf-like. You know what I'm saying? So we'll come back a little bit and show you that. Okay, now you see where I covered this. I put it right back on there. I learned this from another guy that's on the YouTube. His name's Ed Hubbs. When you put this stuff back together, take your time. Really make sure that goes right back on that line, and you'll have a nice crisp line when you get ready. Now I'm not worried about all this because that's just going to cover that, but you want to make sure that this is perfect. If you ever watched any of Ed Hubbs' videos when he did the checkerboard, he said make sure that you put that right back on there, and I'll tell you, it definitely works. So when you're doing something like this where you have a three-dimensional look to it, you're going to do the underneath first. You're going to cover that up so that way you can do all the details to this one here. When this marbles, this is going to be dark here, and I can actually darken green this to where it'll actually look a little darker, like it's rolled over, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. So let's get some marble on it, and we'll show you the effect. Okay, and now I've marbled it, so it's just in the silver form. I like silver because it's not like overbearing. You can get green, you can get all kinds of different colors in this marbling effect. I like silver because I like to tint it back as much as I like to tint it back. So that's the reason why we're doing this. And now we have this leaf, we can go back in with candy green and start pushing everything back a little bit. We'll actually darken this up a little bit, and then we'll darken up the veins a little bit so everything looks more, I could have waited, but I wanted to put a background effect in it so it looks like it's rolling off the vein. Now it'll be a sharp vein through the whole thing. Kind of give it a little bit more definition. So we'll show you here in a second what it looks like. Okay, here's both the leaves, and they are defined over the top of the marble. Now I'm going to go back in with the green candy, and I'm going to blast on some green candy in different spots, make things darker. I'm going to use my HBTH airbrush for that. Sprays a lot of paint, and I can make that leaf look however I want it. So now I'm going to work them and get them green and light green, and just kind of make them kind of blend and make them look pretty neat. So that's what I'm doing now, so we'll be back here in a minute. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. See that little dark spot right there? That was done with this airbrush. It's my bigger brush. It's the HPTH, and it actually has two nozzles, one for a fan pattern and one with an airbrush pattern. And the one that I have in it now is just the airbrush pattern, but it throws a lot of paint, just like I said in the Fender video. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to show you how to darken things. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to darken that. See how it's getting darker right there? Right in the center, it's getting real dark. And that's how you get the definition of the leaf. That's how I do it anyway. But see, now I've gotten some dark spots. It doesn't take a lot, but I want to darken this side, darken this because that's going to fall. It's going to be behind, like rolling underneath. The more definition you put on these little pieces like this, the more your customer is going to go, wow, this is what is cool. So this is real. See how much paint that thing throws? It just throws a lot. And I can make these leaves look anywhere I want. I know the camera doesn't really show it, but it does look really cool. So I can come up over here and give it a little dark around the corner. Just a little darker. Still giving it the marble effect, but it gives it definition. All the leaves are going to get definition. And when that goes to candy, you wouldn't believe it, but it's going to really shine through. It's going to be very, very dominating. So hopefully he likes it, and if that's the case, then you'll see the Jeep in here and we'll be blasting it in. Alright, well, that's it for now, and if we do happen to get the job, which if you're looking at the video, we got the job. We will get it on video and throw it all on YouTube so you can see how this leaf and frog was done. Might come back with a frog and show you how to do the frog, but right now, I'm going to kind of end the video because I know I got a lot there. So, might be just part one. We might skip on to part two with the frog. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, here's the frog. I'm just kind of getting an idea of how big I can make this so I can put it on paper so I can see it. But this is the frog that's going to go on them leaves. So, I've already got him transferred over. And he's on the paper. And it's just a rough outline, kind of give me an idea of where he's at. And now I'm going to go run him off so I can do all the colors.